is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hospital capacity reaching critical levels. That's according to North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. He met with chief medical officers and physicians at hospitals across several states. They warn that the rise in acute health care needs means hospitals are delaying care and having to refer patients to other hospitals. 43 patients in North Dakota had to be transferred to other facilities today alone. Staffing shortages and a lack of space is also adding to the problem. Medical officers are asking people to get their flu shot, visit their primary physician instead of the ER, and use telehealth options when possible. They say stay home and isolate to avoid others when you get sick, avoid high-risk activities, and practice defensive driving. The North Dakota Department of Health has added 4 ambulances to help hospitals with patient transfers. They're also holding weekly meetings with the 6 largest hospitals to discuss capacity issues. New for you now at 4, West Fargo police and school leaders are urging parents today to talk with their kids about a new TikTok challenge that could lead to some serious charges. The 2 agencies took to Facebook to say they're aware of a TikTok challenge that started today, challenging people to smack a staff member on their backside. West Fargo police say anyone taking part in this challenge could face charges as serious as sexual assault, which could also lead to having to register as a sex offender. This comes after at least 30 students within the West Fargo and Fargo-Moorhead school districts have been charged with theft and vandalism in September's TikTok challenge called Devious Licks. That trend challenged kids to see how many thefts they could get away with. Things like soap dispensers and door handles have gone missing in area schools because of the challenge. Now here's Hutch with a first look at the forecast. Hutch?
Stacy, hello and good evening, everyone. We do have a lot of rain across eastern North Dakota, and look at this. In west central Minnesota, we have a batch that's moving northward. All of this is really creeping along quite slowly. So where it's soggy now, it's likely to continue. Notice off to the west, Devil's Lake and points west, Jamestown and points west, things starting to dry up, and you, for your Friday night plans, will see improving conditions, but the rain will move into the northern Red River Valley and Grand Forks, and also through Lakes Country as we go through the evening. So even though it's quiet right now in places like Crookston, Fosston, Thief River Falls, and all the way up to Roseau, this is heading in your general direction. The heaviest by far showing up out here in Lakes Country, and this trend of moving northward here at only 15 miles per hour will continue through the evening. So all of us have a chance of rain. We'll see a few tenths of an inch in some spots, particularly over Lakes Country. Cool 50s to the west. We have those 60s to near 70. Look at that. Roseau, 75 degrees as we head into the evening. Your planning forecast. Look there at the Dakota Magic Casino showing some soggy streets as well. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s all evening. Clouds, we're going to have showers of rain right into the 10 o'clock hour, and then after that at midnight things start to shift out of here. Stacy will track these showers, and we'll also talk a little bit about that weekend forecast because we do have some improvement in store, but a couple of hitches in the giddy up, and I'll detail it all in a moment.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. An early morning chase ended in a crash in downtown Fargo. Police say just after midnight near Island Park, they tried to pull over a car, but the driver kept going and eventually hit another vehicle. 34-year-old James Dubois of Minot is facing multiple charges, including preventing arrest, aggravated reckless endangerment, possession of meth, and more. Police say he led officers on a foot chase before he was arrested a few blocks from the scene. In Grand Forks, police are warning residents about a lifetime sex offender with a new address. Jason Cortez is living in the 1200 block of 39th Street North. He was convicted of first-degree sexual conduct for rape in 2014. Police say that high-risk sex offenders are considered the most likely to reoffend. Fargo police are still asking for your help finding this man. They say he's connected to a fight that broke out last Friday night in the parking lot of a Fargo South High School football game. If you know who this is, call 701-235-4493 and leave your tip. A man from Bismarck has been arrested in connection to an apartment fire. 33-year-old Justin Linder admitted to police he was boiling cooking oil and planning to throw the oil on gang members trying to kick down his door. Take a look at this damage. Court documents say Linder threatened officers with an axe before they were able to arrest him. People living in surrounding units have now been able to return home. The president's negotiating skills are put to the test as he heads to the Capitol Hill today. Democrats in the White House say they're close to agreement as talks continue on the massive reconciliation bill. But as Natalie Brand reports, the party's split over the path forward has postponed a key vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, causing the furlough of thousands of transportation workers.
Friday, President Biden travels to Capitol Hill in an attempt to bring Democrats across the finish line on his infrastructure agenda.
He believes it's the right time for him to go up there. These are his proposals. These are his bold ideas.
We are at the table to try to deliver both things, and I believe we will.
Earlier, House progressives struck an optimistic tone on negotiations after their opposition Thursday to moving forward on the Senate-passed bipartisan infrastructure bill without a path forward on the larger social spending bill.
We are still waiting for the details of Bill back that goes along with a bipartisan infrastructure, and you have unity around those two. We're in the middle of mashed potatoes or sausage making. That's what legislation is.
Republicans have been in lockstep opposition to the Democrats' Build Back Better Act, which funds the president's top agenda priorities, such as climate change, education, and health care. With a narrow majority in the House and a 50-50 Senate, Democrats cannot afford to lose support. Democratic Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin signaled they're not on board with the current $3.5 trillion price tag. Senator Manchin has said his top line is $1.5 trillion. Meanwhile, the failure to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill has caused a lapse in funding for some highway and transit programs, resulting in the furlough of nearly 4,000 workers. Lawmakers are working on a short-term fix if the bill remains stalled. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The U.S. Department of Transportation said in a statement they're taking steps to mitigate the impacts of the temporary lapse in funding, adding that payments to reimburse states' Department of Transportation, transit agencies, and other grantees for existing grants can continue. California is the first state to announce vaccination mandates for school children. The new rule includes students in 7th through 12th grades once ages 12 and up are approved by the FDA. Students that are 5 to 11 will be required to get vaccinated once the FDA gives approval for that age group.
A statewide requirement for in-person instruction for all of our children to add to a well-established list that currently includes 10 vaccinations and well-established rules and regulations that have been advanced by the legislature for decades.
A handful of school districts in California have already imposed their own vaccine mandates. Other states have resisted imposing pandemic rules in schools, including Kentucky, where a new law overturned a state mask mandate. The Biden administration approved a dramatic increase in food stamp assistance, the largest single increase in the program's history. Starting today, monthly payments for families will rise on average some 27% above levels before the pandemic. The increase is permanent for more than 42 million people benefiting from SNAP. Factoring in the annual cost of living adjustment, the average monthly benefit will go up to $169. A federal judge is considering whether the Texas abortion law will stay in place. The measure went into effect last month and has already gone through one U.S. Supreme Court challenge. The law bans abortions around 6 weeks. Mass demonstrations are planned across the country to defend abortion rights as several members of Congress shared their personal abortion experiences during a committee hearing yesterday. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced today that any Minnesotan over the age of 18 that gets vaccinated at a clinic set up at U.S. Bank Stadium will be entered into a drawing for a chance to win tickets to the upcoming Vikings-Bears game. That's on January 9th. 2 winners will be drawn from the October 3rd and October 10th pop-up clinics. In addition to this, the first 50 Minnesotans 12 years old and older who get the vaccine at each pop-up clinic outside the stadium will receive a player autographed mini helmet. If you're going to the Eric Church concert in Grand Forks tonight and haven't hit the road yet, you may want to think about leaving in the next couple minutes. Grand Forks police are warning of more traffic than usual around the Alara Center. Police say there are around 11,000 people expected to attend tonight's concert. Traffic is expected to be the worst from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., then again from 10:30 p.m. until midnight. Police are asking those not attending tonight's concert to take alternate routes. Today is Read in Color Diversity Day, and the city of Fargo is encouraging everyone to come out to Broadway Square in downtown Fargo tonight until 6. Grab a book from the little free library to read and learn from diverse writers of all ages.
Empathy makes us who we hopefully are as humans, and it helps us all live together better in a community. And that's, I mean, tying it back to Broadway Square, that's what Broadway Square is all about, is strengthening our community as a community space and a safe space to be yourself.
Still to come here on Valley News Live at 4, birthday wishes being distributed to local children thanks to the community's generosity.
And as we head into the weekend, those fall colors are really starting to show up. Look at this, the northern half of Minnesota where you see the reds, peak colors. Soggy weather tonight. Do you have Friday night plans? I'll have details on where all these rain showers are heading in your hour-by-hour forecast straight ahead.